my name is Alicia, and if this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome, and happy International Women's Day. And 4 years ago today, my granny passed, so rest in peace, Granny. Hope we're making you proud down here. In fact, I took a couple of shots in her honor. Some Moonshine from Tennessee. This one is Sugarland Shine Appalachian Apple Pious. This is good. This is amazing. When I was taking this, I was like, "Whew, Lord have mercy, that's good." And then I took a little bit of Moonshine from Kentucky. This is some good stuff. Both of these are amazing. And I love this drink. I'm actually drinking some of it right now. So, what's up? How are you? This is going to be a regular thing. I like my little blankie. Did anybody watch the Meghan and Harry interview the other day? Because I really related to a lot, especially the part where you don't feel supported. Because I felt that way in school. I just felt like people were doing things, and a lot of my friends, well, I probably shouldn't call them friends, people I was in organizations with, they really just kind of stood by, didn't do anything, and they were wanting to be friends with certain people. So being friends with me meant they were going to go against the main group of people they wanted to be friends with. And I definitely understood that part. Unfortunately, the racism and losing so many friends to suicide, it was hard to hear her say that. And I'm just happy that she's still here, because I'm going to be honest, like, losing friends to suicide is one of the most painful things I've ever dealt with. And to this day, I don't think I'll ever get over it. Just losing one friend after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. It's very painful. And long story cut short, I didn't really feel supported by my school or even some of the people around me. They would support each other. But because I didn't open up in the way that they think I should have opened up, they kind of just backed up. And when you're going through something like sad and traumatic, and it's nice to have people around you, even if you have different ways of grieving. And I just felt like people abandoned me and kind of like threw me away like a piece of trash because I didn't do things the way they think I should have done it, or I wanted to put on a strong front. And just because you're strong, it doesn't mean that you should be left behind. You should still have people reaching out to you and say, "Hey, are you okay?" And I did have a few people ask, but they sort of gave up on me because I didn't open up the way that they wanted me to open up, and they started to back away. So just because somebody's kind of like strong or grieves differently from what you're used to, still reach out to them and ask if they're okay. Be there for them. So when she was saying those kind of things, I related on a personal level. So, how everybody else doing today? Wherever you are in the world, how's it going? In fact, I'm going to get into a topic really quick. I might take a quick break to because I'm getting ready to turn off the heat because I get cold easily. I got even a couple layers of shirts on, so just want to kind of throw that out there. And I know I'm probably forgetting something, but I'll just put in the next take. Whew, this feels so good. Alright, I'm going to take a little break and I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Hey, so my camera's gotten a little cloudy. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to go with it. But what I want to touch on really quickly was a lot of us, well, in my single friends group, starting to notice that a lot of our friends are getting married and having kids. And I'm like, if you know me and followed me on here and Medium, I really don't plan on getting married, and I really don't plan on having kids. I'll post my links, and I'm not going to get into it in this video. But one of the things I always bring up was, like, my single friends, you know, they don't have time for us like they used to. You know, they're not going to go out with us like we went out when we were in college. But I think for us, we can support the people in our lives who are married and having kids. I know for me personally, I'm sending out a lot of pregnancy care packages. I just want people in my life to know that I care for them. I want to show them that I support them. And Unfortunately, in some instances, once some of my friends got married, they stopped talking to me. And sometimes you do go on different paths and you go in different directions in life. And sometimes they'll be back. So when it comes to my friendships, I try to be flexible. But generally speaking, the friends I'm in touch with, I support them and I want to be like their sounding board, because people forget that parents and everybody who have priorities and responsibilities are people and human beings too. Just because their priorities change, they might not have as much time for you. They still love and care for you. They just don't have the time. And they just might not want to. After having kids, they might not have the energy to go out with you at 4 a.m. in the morning. So maybe instead of going out with you, partying and clubbing all night, it might be just drinking a glass of wine after they put their kids to bed. I know I've been telling a lot of my friends who are expecting, listen, if you just need somebody to talk to, need somebody to yell at, somebody to go through your frustrations with, I'm here for you. I'm going to be here every part of the way. Well, I should say every step of the way. That makes better sense. This blanket is on this chair in this weird, awkward way. Anyway, I'm going to be there for you every step of the way. If you need somebody to take your kids and you just need to do some self-care, I can be that person. I can watch your kids while you and your husband go off on a spa day. I'm going to be that friend. Or even if it's like my single parent friends, you might just need like a mental break. You might want to take some time to yourself. I want to be that friend to my friends, just a supportive friend. I just know like it's not going to be the same. And I got to confess, when I go out with a lot of my single friends, some of the best memories I've had was with my married friends. Like I know I've known some crazy motherfuckers in my life, and some of the best memories I've have with bars and going out and having good times are with a lot of my married friends. And a lot of them don't have time for that shit. And if they do, we have to plan it out, 3 months in advance. I have to call them up and say, hey, do you want to go out? And it had to be planned out. It's not like I could call them on a Tuesday and say, hey, you free to go out Thursday? It's not like that anymore. But even though life changes, we go in different directions, I let them know that I'm here for them. And we might not be able to go out like we used to, and I'll miss those times. I'm going to still love them and support them regardless. And so that's where I basically stand. And I've joined this group called Rich Auntie Supreme. I gotta look it up. Rich. Yeah, Rich Auntie Supreme, because I really don't plan on having kids. So I think that's what my role is going to be. And like I said, if I change my mind, I change my mind about marriage and kids. But if I don't, I'm just going to be happy single bitch for the rest of my life. So that's my plan. Just to support my married friends that are still in my life and be single for the rest of my life. And I don't know if you guys are going to watch this, but shout out to Amelia, Betania, Teresita, Victoria, and Keisha. I love you guys and want to support you in every step of your life that you take. So I'm about to cut off. Let me rewatch this video. I might post it, I might not. Peace out. Alrighty, before it cuts me off again, here's my final finishing thoughts. My cousin Delia, hey lovely, actually brought up a good point. She says sometimes when you have kids, your friends start to abandon you. So the fact that you're sticking with your pregnant friends, it's pretty cool. And the fact that you're sticking with your married, expecting, friends who are entering that step in their lives, the fact that you're sticking with them is cool. I said, I'm definitely not going to leave them. I'm going to support them and be there for them. On the other hand, I told her that being a single person and somebody who wants to be single for the rest of my life, I always catch heat. You don't want kids, you don't want to get married, all that nagging stuff. And I just have to stay away from people because they just don't want to understand and don't care to understand. So it's just good to be able to see things from the other side. And then I've also had a bunch of friends say, oh, it's not gonna change. We still gonna go out and party. I was like, yeah, once you have kids and once you get married, you say that now, but your priorities gonna change we can still hang out, but it's not going to be like we were in school. And I check in on my friends who have kids, who got married, you know, a year later. They either don't have time, they don't want to do it. Bar hopping is not something they're interested in anymore, and that's okay. Your priorities change, things change, and they just don't have the time, or they just don't have the money, or they just simply don't want to anymore, and that's okay. We hang out in different ways. Maybe instead of going out, we find an activity to do during the day. So I'm flexible with my friendships. Like, I know they might not have as much time for me anymore. My feelings aren't hurt over it, and I don't even take it personal. I just want them to know that I'm happy that they found their person that they want to spend the rest of their life with. It has nothing to do with me. Like I said, I'm here if you want to hang out, but if you don't want to hang out, that's okay too. I'll find other single friends that I can have adventures with. If you want to hang out, cool. It'll just be in a different way, but I'm okay with that. As the friendship evolves and changes and you move away, it might not be the same, but I still have much love. And one more thing, I gotta say this one, because one of the things that us single people gotta be careful of, though, is people coming to us just to use us. And I'll give you a good example of this, and I promise you I'm going to stop talking after this. You know, when you're in church, right? Hey, Sister Peterson don't have nothing to do, so why don't you just send her something so she'll give you some money? You don't want to be the person that people uses, or the only time they come to you is when they want something. You don't want to be people's throwaway person, because people will use you if you let them, and treat you like shit and then throw you away, or only come to you when they want something. So we do have to be careful of this. Or, oh, Sister Peterson's not doing nothing, so why don't you get her to babysit? We gotta be careful. We gotta make sure people don't start using us and treating us like, oh, the only time we're gonna come to them is when we need something. So we just gotta watch that and dodge that bullet. We're still people with needs, wants, and we still have things to do, and we still have things that we have to do in our lives, and we still have things we have to follow, and goals, and we still have priorities too. Just because we're single, that doesn't mean like we're free all the time. And oh, Sister Peterson's not doing nothing, so why don't you call her up at the last minute, see if she'll be open to doing this? You can't let people do that to you, because they will if you let them. So we just have to dodge that, and everything will be good. So my battery's about to go again, so let me go ahead and end it. Hope everyone has a great International Women's Day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Toodles.